Hi everyone, it's Fitting Dragon. It is no secret that I have quite a lot of inks in my collection, and in the beginning of May, I was at the point where I was so done of choosing inks. At that time, I felt that maybe this month would be a good month to try to ink more of my bottles rather than my samples. I mostly chose inks from my bottles this month. Let's get to it. The first pen and ink combination that I have here is Diamine Writer's Blood inside my Lamy 2000 with medium 14 karat gold nib. So Diamond Writer's Blood is quite famous for being very wet, but surprisingly with my Lamy 2000 it does not feel as wet. So that's a bit strange. I know that this nib that I have is not the greatest, as in when I write with it I mostly don't have the right writing angle to the sweet spot. If I start writing with it and I tend to turn my pen as well, sometimes it sort of skipping because of that. Usually using a weather ink helps a lot with my writing experience with this. So Diamond Writer's Blood in this pen for me was a great combination. I already made the decision to buy a fine nib for this pen, which I will probably get at the Dutch pen show. I cannot wait for my writing experience with this pen to be better once I change the nib to be the fine nib. Diamond's Writer's Blood is very close to KW set Maroon. Alright, the second one is Pilot Iroshizuku Hotaru-bi inside Majohn A1 with Pilot Medium 18 karat gold nib. This one is like my experimental inking, let's say like that, because I know that this inking will be way too light. I intentionally put this ink inside this pen because I know that this pen does not have the greatest seal. So when I don't write with this pen for quite a long time, on the first few lines the writing was dark enough, and then it starts to get lighter and lighter to the point that it is quite hard to read. I ink this just because I have the ink sample, and for every ink samples that come into my collection I want to try them first inside a pen before doing anything else with it. With this inking, that mission is accomplished. I don't have any other burden to use up all of the ink, and I can just pass this ink around to other people. I really wonder why Pilot make this ink color, because it's very not legible for me, and I believe also for other people as well. Well, it's quite fun, and I guess you can mix inks with it, but that's as far as I can tell. As for color comparison, it is the closest to Shanghai Stationery Shunan Bamboo C in my collection. The third one is Rohrer Klingner Outhold Rune inside Majohn V60 with fine nib. I love this ink so much. I always have smile on my face whenever I write with this ink. It's famous for a good reason, and it's just very soothing and comforting. And the Rune Cleaner Outhold Rune for me is the perfect ink for spring and summer, just because of how bright and yet still naturey it is. Color wise, it's quite close to every swatch cards that I have here. I think it's the closest to Run Cleaner Sketch Ink Emma, which is the waterproof version, the sketch ink for drawing. And it's quite close as well to Dacia Ukuisu, although Dacia Ukuisu have some reddish sheen, which makes it more interesting than Outhold Rune. Okay, the next one, I am really sorry that I cannot find the swatch card. I already spent the last 30 minutes trying to find it in my swatch card box, but I couldn't find it, so we will live with it. I have this palette Kakuno filled with Diamine Infant 2025 Laurel, which is their extreme sheen color, so it's green with very red sheen. Unfortunately, this pen is not the greatest sealing wise, so just like this one, I haven't written with it for 2 or 3 days and it just stops writing. Maybe this is the call to just unink this pen, because while I like the Pilot Kakuno nib and this fine nib has been wonderful, this nib that I put in it is just not the best ink to be in this pen. And as mentioned before, I don't have the exact swatch card for this ink, but I managed to find the rest that are pretty similar. They're all green with very strong sheen, so it's very close to Diamine Black Ivy as well. Okay, to a more happier combination, because I have the swatch card with me. I have Pilot Iroshizuku Kon-peki inside this Jinhao 82 with Faber-Castell Loom medium nib. This has been so pleasant to write with that I question myself why I don't ink this more often. It's a classic for a good reason as well. It's so bright and happy. It reminds me of the summer or warmer weather sky, and it's just so pleasant to write with. Color comparison wise, it is the closest with Pelican Edelstein Topaz and Crystal Planet. And well, in this color, it has quite similarities to any other blues that you probably have. So yeah, fun ink. The last pen and ink combination that I have today is Diamine Lady Grey inside my Pilot Custom Heritage 91 with medium nib, but it has been grounded to an unknown nib. So this ink is very interesting one. It is a gray, but sometimes it also looks purple. For me personally, this ink is way too light in writing. So while I enjoy the color and I enjoy the chroma shadingness that we can see from it, I am not really drawn to it. And after inking this pen, I am finding myself not really reaching out to this pen. So right now I don't really know what I want to do with it. Diamond Lady Gray is indeed the more feminine color compared to Diamond Elk Gray, so the Reddit of fountain pens really did a great job in choosing the Lady Gray color. It's fun, but just not for me, and that's okay. So yeah, these are all the pens that I have inked here. We can clearly see that the colors that I choose are leaning more to the warmer weather kind of colors. So what do you think of this? What's your warmer weather color yourself? Let me know and see you on the next one. Bye bye!